The mango. It's a fusion of two tales, one from Congo and one from India. Have you ever found it hard to choose? This or that? These or those? Today or tomorrow? Fingers or toes? Sometimes it can be difficult to decide. But if you don't make a decision, you just might miss out. Let me tell you the story of Bem, a man who loved mangoes but never got to eat them. When Bem built his house, he planted a small mango tree on either side of the house. Within 2 years, both trees were bearing fruit. And oh, what delicious mangoes they appeared to be. The tree on the right was laden with pink mangoes with a yellow tinge to them. And the tree on the left was filled with yellow mangoes with a pink blush. Bem walked from one tree to the other, unsure of which one to pick the mangoes from first. All morning he paced around and could not decide. Eventually, he became upset with not being able to make a decision, and he sat down on his step and began to cry. He wept and finally went to sleep. When he awoke, he saw a stranger standing before him. The man looked at Bem's swollen eyes and asked if there was something wrong. Bem explained that he could not make a decision about which mango tree to pick from first. The stranger looked at the trees and said that the yellow ones with the pink blush looked riper, and then went on his way. Bem thanked him and wondered whether he should pick the ripest ones first or last. He wandered back to the trees once more and was confused about what the stranger had said. Was it the yellow ones with the pink blush or the pink ones with the yellow tinge that were the ripest? And then he still couldn't decide which he should pick first. Days passed and Ben continued walking from one tree to the other, sitting on his step and crying because he couldn't decide which one to pick. And eventually, each and every mango dropped from the trees to fall on the ground and rot. Ben never did get to eat any of the beautiful mangoes, and this made him sadder than ever. One day, another stranger came to Bem's door and greeted him. He was a huge, roly-poly man who had traveled a long way. When he saw Bem's mango trees, he congratulated him and asked him how did the fruit taste. Bem began to cry and told his story. "Let me tell you my tale," said the traveler. "For I come from India, where we consider the mango to be the king of fruit." Bem listened as the traveler explained. "No matter how much food I eat, I always have room for a mango. One day, the king invited me to a grand feast where I was to prove my point. I ate all manner of food until I could no longer eat one grain of rice. My belly was tighter than the skin of a drum. And then they brought out a tray of sliced mango and I gobbled them up. Astounded at my feat, the king asked me how. So I explained. When the king walks into the street, the people move to the sides so that he can pass by unhindered. They are in awe of His Majesty. It is the same with mango. When I swallow a mango, all the other food in my belly simply moves aside to let it pass. That is why we call it the king of fruit. Ben clapped his hands and smiled. I would love a feast, my friend, and we could invite the king of fruit to be our honored guest, said Bem. It is a pity that there are no mangoes left on your trees to eat, said the traveler. But luckily, I have brought some with me. He handed Bem a plump yellow mango, and Bem thanked him, but then looked confused. The traveler asked what was wrong, and he answered, I don't know whether to eat it now or later, he said. And what do you think the traveler said? You were listening to To Suno by Sneha.